Well, hello. Welcome once again to Stuff and Things, where I like to talk about stuff and occasionally even things. I'm your good friend Bradley, and today I'm going to be comparing this, the venerable old Midori Traveler's Notebook passport size, with this, the very new Woodsybalmsleather leather mini composition journal notebook cover. Lots of good stuff to talk about with this. This is going to be interesting because this is a rather inexpensive alternative to the venerable old Midori Traveler's Notebook. There are things I definitely prefer about the Midori, but there are some things to recommend. The Woodsybalmsleather mini, okay, let me get this right, leather mini composition journal notebook cover. I think that's SEO in the title there, but good stuff going on with this thing. So let's take a closer look at both of these. I will give you the pros and cons. This is mostly a review of the Woodsybalmsleather leather mini composition journal notebook cover, but I just want to compare it to the Midori because obviously that is its main competition. I'm going to show you the relative size here, but we'll do this a little bit closer up when we turn the camera. So stay tuned. Lots of good stuff to discuss. All right, gang, well, here we go. The Woodsybalmsleather leather mini composition journal notebook cover. And here we have my original, when it was called Midori's Traveler's Notebook passport size. Now it is the Traveler's Company passport size leather journal. Now you can see the sizes are very similar. The Midori is maybe 1/8 of an inch taller. And then the Woodsybalms is maybe 1/4 of an inch wider. So this guy is 5 inches by 4 inches. Now, it is made to fit these little composition notebooks. I'm sure you guys have seen these 1,000 times if you live in the US. They're kind of ubiquitous. You can find them all over the place, drugstores, Walmart, things like that. 60 sheets, 120 pages. I don't know if it shows the actual weight of the paper on these guys. They're pretty thin, and I don't think the paper is going to be super fountain pen ink ready, but we'll see about that. The things that are also different here, other than the size, is the Midori has this little brass or tin clasp, which I really like that little touch. I like that. And then the Midori also has, if I can find it in here, there it is. It also has this little bookmark, which I enjoy. I enjoy that being added in to the Midori. This does not have that, but it has basically the same kind of situation that the Midori has, with a piece of elastic here on the spine, and you can put your inserts through that. It's basically the same here. I don't want to take all of this apart, but it's just, you can see there, the one piece of elastic like this. Here you have that one piece of elastic, and instead of having that tin clasp, they just have a knot in here. So this goes through and then gets clasped on the spine. But you have the one piece of elastic there, and then the other one that comes through out on the top. You put your inserts through, and then the Midori system also provides these little rubber bands that you can clip around and put more. Let's see if I can see one here. Like here's one of the rubber bands. You can wrap that around your other inserts and then use this as another way to put an insert in. I'm actually going to take this one out. So this, you can see, is clipped around this other insert that I have, and then you can put another one on there. I just want to check the size of this Midori insert. This actually isn't a Midori brand one, is it? Oh yeah, it is. Traveler's Notebook. I'm going to use this in here and see if it fits. Oops. Come on now. So there we go. This is in the Woodsybalmsleather. You can see that because the Midori is slightly taller, that the insert in this one comes right to the edge of this cover, but it still works fine, I would say. And then this is not that much beyond the width of the Midori insert, so very little difference there. But yeah, you do have just, it's basically just almost dead even. with the edge of the leather cover, but I think that still works fine. So if you don't like these composition notebooks, you can definitely use a Midori insert, or there are so many companies out there making inserts for journals, and I'm sure you can find, I don't know, maybe some Tomoe River paper or something like that that is in this form factor. This 4.5 by 3.5, or no, 4.5 by 3.25, I believe, composition notebook. So there are going to be so many different options for that, but Midori inserts are certainly an option if you don't mind the fact that it comes almost to the edge of this notebook. Other than that, I mean, there's not much to talk about really. These are leather flaps. These are leather covers that you can use. And I think a lot of ink has been drained and a lot of videos have been made. People saying that, oh my God, why would you ever pay whatever it is now for these Midoris? I think it's about $40 to $50 for the passport size, which, yeah, seems kind of crazy. Why would you ever pay that? It's just a strip of leather. And if that is your opinion, I can definitely appreciate that. I think there are just certain things about the Midori system that make it unique and interesting, but I can certainly understand if you think it's too expensive. And that's why it's great to have these other options. Why can't I do this right now? Ugh, it's a little tight. It's great to have these other options out there like this. 20 bucks for a strip of leather, but it's nice leather. I think he even has one on his Etsy shop that's Horween Chrome XL. I don't think this one is Horween, but it is a very nice vegetable tan leather. And you're just gonna have so many different options with inserts that you wanna put into this. There are lots of different colors available. He has black, brown, green, red, and a pebbled green. And then there's another red one that I think is Chrome XL. This was ostensibly green. He said it was green. It looks black to me. Here's a black pen. I think it's black. He said the green was so dark it looked black. I don't know, maybe it's just me, but I think this just looks like black. I would have to get a black one to compare it to this one to see if there's any difference. But anyway, lots of different colors available, 20 bucks. They all come with one of these little composition notebooks. If you're okay with these notebooks, you can use these as inserts. I'm sure there are so many other options if you don't like these. But speaking of these inserts, it'll be upside down for you, but I will turn it around. I have got, this is my Lamy 2000. This has a medium nib, but it's a pretty, I wouldn't say stingy, but it doesn't put a ton of ink out. And typically if I use this on just plain old notebook paper, it doesn't bleed or make a big mess. But then I have my Pilot Custom 823 that I've been using a lot lately. This has a Japanese medium, so it's not a super thick medium, but it does put quite a bit more ink out. So if it's gonna bleed, it will probably bleed with this pen. So let's try the Lamy first. I'm twisting it off, I don't need to. Let's see. Will this ink bleed? I will say right now, having this knot here, a little annoying. Well, actually, yeah, it's a little annoying. I might want to take that outside, take the knot and wrap it around here and tie it out there. Kind of annoying having it in the spine. So, will this ink bleed? No. Not with the Lamy 2000 with a medium nib. So didn't have any issue with that. Let me just put a little bit more ink down on the page. This is Pilot Iro Shizuku. We got maybe just a hint of some bleeding there with throwing a lot on there. This is Pilot Iro Shizuku, what is their green again? I think it's Shinbyoku? I can't remember exactly. They're beautiful green that I love. Okay, now we're gonna try the Pilot Custom 823 with a medium nib, a big fat gold nib. Will this ink bleed? It still didn't bleed through. Let me put down some here. This is definitely a wetter nib. There you go. And I I mean, it's almost wanting to bleed through there, but not horrible. So this isn't bad. I think if you're not using a really big fat nib that throws a lot of ink down on the page, you could get by with this composition notebook. But like I said, I'm sure there are all sorts of different options for you out there if you want to use something else. So $20 Midori passport size alternative. And well, and that's even kind of weird to say it's an alternative to the Midori because it's not trying to be necessarily. Obviously that's the idea, but it's not trying to fit the Midori inserts. It's trying to fit this insert. You could use the Midori inserts if you wish. They will just come right to the edge of the leather. But there you go. I think 20 bucks is a great deal for this, and especially if you don't feel like paying the premium for the Midori or Travelers Company branded stuff. Fantastic things from the Etsy shop, Woodsybalmsleather. There will be a link in the description box below. So there you have it. The Woodsybalmsleather leather mini composition journal notebook cover versus the Midori, or formerly Midori Traveler's Notebook, currently Travelers Company notebook passport size. The Midori / Travelers is twice as expensive, over twice as expensive. There are still a few things that might make you want to pay that extra cost, but at 20 bucks, this is no slouch at all. There is a lot of use you can get out of this, a lot of versatility, and really the only differences are just some of the little tiny accoutrement and, I don't know, differences that most people probably won't care about at all. So I think the Woodsybalmsleather leather mini composition journal notebook cover is a very strong contender in the Midori-alike world out there at only 20 bucks with really high quality leather. I like the way that this elastic feels. It's kind of the most Midori-like in my opinion, just in terms of quality and everything. There's a little card there. And just a fantastic option for people who don't want to pay the premium for the Midori / Travelers. I want to thank Brad Lee for sending this along. Not Bradley, but Brad Lee. You can check out the Etsy shop at Woodsybalmsleather below. There will be a link in the description. And then Brad has also included a 10%, where did I write that down? There is a 10% discount for people. I'm not sure how far it's going till, but if you type in SAT 10, you will get that discount. Let me double check all that to make sure. Yes, indeed. 10% off promo code for my viewers with the code SAT10. SAT10. So check out that promo code. This journal was provided free of charge for review. I'm not making any money off the video review, just to clarify that. Thank you guys so much for watching. I'm your good friend Bradley. You've been the audience. This has been Stuff and Things. I'll see you later.